An advisory for thousands of residents to stay indoors. Officials say the smoke from the fire smells like chlorine and is extremely toxic. The governor's orders impact residents in 3 communities. The factory is located in Westlake, which is home to almost 5,000 residents. I want to get right to Darren Lynn. He's in Houston, Texas for us and has been monitoring the storm's destruction there. Darren, what has Texas been through?
Well, here in Houston, fortunately, the storm was supposed to come here originally, but then it veered about 200 miles east of here to the Texas-Louisiana border, and that's where all the devastation took place when Hurricane Laura made landfall at about 1 a.m. local time. 150-mile-an-hour sustained winds pummeled the area instantly, knocking down power lines, trees, ripping rooftops off of homes, also tearing down buildings altogether. It was definitely a mass destruction, and the folks that were evacuated, fortunately, that was the important part that they did. About 500,000 people evacuated from the coastline of both Texas and Louisiana, and because of that, many lives were spared according to emergency officials, because the storm surge that came in addition to the heavy winds that just caused complete destruction, that is something that no one would have survived if they stayed there. But unfortunately, some folks did stay behind, and search and rescue efforts right now are to look for those people who may have tried to ride out that storm.
And what does the response look like right now, and how prepared was Texas for a storm of this magnitude?
Well, unfortunately, Texas and Louisiana experienced many hurricanes simply because they're in the Gulf of Mexico, and officials have been prepared. They learned from their lessons. New Orleans learned from Katrina, Houston learned from Rita and from Ike, and from most recently Harvey back 3 years ago. So they knew evacuation was important, which again, 500,000 people were evacuated from the coastal communities. Also, now there is a sense of, well, you have to do the recovery efforts, and emergency officials are on standby. The National Guard, local law enforcement, fire and rescue crews, as well as agencies coming in from all different states from around the United States to help with the search and recovery effort.
All right, Darren Lynn with that update in Houston, Texas. Really appreciate it. Turning now to Wisconsin, where prosecutors have charged a